That is the hardest part of that ring.
For the hardest part of the ring.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the hardest part of the ring.
Hello and welcome to episode number 37 of Hardest Part of the Ring, the podcast where four friends get together to discuss the wonder of professional wrestling. I'm Adam, and today I'm here with John.
Oh, God, I was hoping you could go from Brett first because I had a massive burp ready. Hello!
And I'm also here with Brett.
Hello, I'm always last, John. You must remember that.
Yeah, come on, John. You may have guessed Sam is unfortunately not here. Since winning the quiz last week, he's been on a massive bender, just out in the town, Jake the Snake style bender. He's in no state to podcast, basically. Disgusting behaviour. So it's just the three of us, and this podcast is a wrestling roundup. We did one of these a couple of months ago. The plan is to discuss the latest wrestling news, talk about what we've been watching, and then at the end of this we're going to do a really quick preview of the Riptide Championship Weekender, which we've got coming up this weekend. So yeah, got that to look forward to. Yes, who's excited?
Yeah!
Cool, let's get straight into it.
We got absolutely all of that. Do I need to mention that's the hardest part of the ring?
Right, so first up, we're going to talk about the latest news and talk about some stuff that we don't usually get to discuss when we're going through pay-per-views and top fives and things. So to start off with, it's sad news. Sad news, unfortunately. When was it? On Monday of this week, we heard of the passing of Grand Master Sexay and Nikolai Volkov. Obviously very sad. Brett, can you tell us a little bit about Grandmaster Sexay? I know you haven't had much time to prepare, but hopefully you remember him anyway.
I remember Grandmaster Sexay, obviously in his time with Scotty Too Hotty. Mm-hmm. And I remember mostly of his time in WWE being dancing. Yeah. And, being light entertainment in wrestling, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I did really enjoy Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty Too Hotty.
Yeah.
In their
Too
day.
Cool was iconic, wasn't it? The faction, really. And especially when Rikishi joined in. It was amazing. So funny.
Yeah, exactly. And like, theirs was the stuff that you were always mimicking and trying to do.
Yeah.
The worm does seem like an achievable move, doesn't it? I have not tried it myself, but I feel like I've probably got the core strength to do it.
Not achievable now, but back then, probably yes.
I think, maybe we could go to Riptide on Thursday or Friday, whichever days we're doing, dressed as Too Cool, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe, I reckon, Brett, you could probably do a Scotty Too Hotty if you get your hair going through a hat, get some shades on.
Do that. Definitely.
John, are you happy being Grandmaster Sexay? Not dead, obviously.
Thanks, Adam.
And who do you reckon should be Rikishi, me or Sam? Or is this unfair?
I'm going to say you.
I'm not going to say you.
Okay, fine, good. Sorry, Sam.
But yeah, those very sad news. Sad for Jerry.
Yeah, of course. I didn't actually know he was Jerry Lawler's son. I didn't know that.
No, I did know, not like immediately when they were on the scene, but I did sort of read it, being one of those people that read stuff, find it quite soon on, which I thought was cool.
Are you saying I don't read stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair
No,
enough.
I'm calling myself, a mark that goes and tries to find out as much as they can.
Yeah.
And then forget it all. So I'm, still wowed by everything I see.
That's why you're authentic, you see.
Yeah. So a massive shame. Obviously, not very old at all in the circumstances in which it happened. Very sad and unfortunate. So yeah, sorry to hear that. Nikolai Volkov, obviously still a sad tale, sad story, but much older. John, you're an expert in Volkov, right?
Yeah, obviously. Actually, in my room right now, there's about 5 different Volkov posters, various bits of memorabilia in glass cases.
Amazing.
He was a wrestler that my first experience with him was WrestleMania 3. I think he's on that card. But he seemed in his 80s even then.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that has always seemed very old, not very mobile. But fair play to him. He had a long old career playing that typical Russian heel.
Yeah.
I think he was actually from like a former Soviet republic and actually hated Russia. So there's lots of stories about him actually loving being this sort of nasty Russian heel because everyone booed him and he hated Russia as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a great character though, and sadly lost. Sadly lost, is that the phrase? Sadly missed?
Sadly lost? I don't know. When you say lost, it sounds like we're going to find him again.
Find him, yeah.
Somewhere.
Maybe we will. Who knows?
Between
Maybe
the sofa
we will.
cushions.
Maybe this is just one big work for like a massive WrestleMania comeback.
Yeah. Imagine that. That would be very weird because he's not like a huge star. It's not like the crowd would lose their shit. Most of them wouldn't necessarily recognise him. Anyway, that would be weird. But R.I.P. Obviously, getting an R.I.P. from the guys at Hardest Part of the Ring is going to mean a huge amount to those guys. So, yeah, there we go.
Let's send some flowers. Let's send some flowers. Why not?
Should we send some flowers with all our T-shirt money?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to steal some flowers. Next up on the agenda is the news that came out on Raw last week, announced by Stephanie McMahon. WWE Evolution. It was announced that the first ever all-women's PPV will be happening on October the 28th in New York. Obviously, this is coming off the back of numerous firsts for the female superstars, main eventing pay-per-views, having their first 30-woman Royal Rumble, the first female Hell in a Cell match, and many other things like that. So, yeah, we've got this coming up in October. It's going to feature all of the women's championships, including NXT, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
And I also read that it's also going to feature the finals of this year's Mae Young Classic. So,
yeah.
It's
I hope it does go into like really allowing the stories and the current rosters like flesh out and give them some real time to do that now, rather than just being like a Greatest Royal Rumble exhibition pay-per-view.
I think there will be a bit of that. There's lots of rumours about sort of Beth Phoenix coming back and
Lita's signed up.
Yeah. I don't mind if there's a little bit of that in, but it would be great if it, was a pay-per-view that gave them the time that they deserved to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. They don't need to do all the callbacks to all the women who started the revolution and all that, because they've done plenty of that. And
exactly.
But then WWE absolutely love slapping themselves on the back, even though it was them who created the monster that was the Divas in the first place. So
yeah, I just find it funny when Steph was saying, "Oh, women have been held back for so long."
Yeah,
by my
your
dad.
Who's standing
right next to you.
Yeah, and it's not like other, all women shows exist, is it? Already.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, so groundbreaking.
WWE do love making a big song and dance about righting their own horrific wrongs.
Yeah.
Of course.
Way too late as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we're not doing blackface anymore. Yay!
Woohoo! But yeah, of course, that event will be one that we will all watch and we'll review on the podcast. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, especially because some of the names have been announced for the Mae Young Classic so far. I imagine, I don't know if it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because in America, when they say finals, that can mean just the final. It's weird. Doesn't necessarily mean semis and final. They just.
I thought it would be just the final.
Yeah, that would make sense. But when I read about it, it said the finals. Anyway, it's weird. They add an S to final. They take an S away from maths. Weirdos. Next.
Sorry, just quickly, who's been announced for the Mae Young Classic? I haven't. Any names?
Yeah, Satomura.
Yes.
Aiko Satomura.
Yeah, I saw that just the other day.
Yeah. Don't know who that is.
Well, I'm saying as if I'm an expert. She's a Japanese woman, obviously, and she's recently come over and done quite a lot on Fight Club Pro, I believe, and she's had a couple of matches with Pete Dunne. I'm pretty sure Sam has spoken about her in the past, but she apparently is very, very, very good. So I'm looking forward to seeing her. Just looking down the list now, Tony Storm's going to be there again, which is obviously very good news. Ginny, which is great. Isla Dawn, who's the one that we saw at Progress, John. Oh God, here we go. My pronunciation problems again. Io Shirai is the other Japanese one.
She's just signed for NXT.
Yeah, exactly. Rhea Ripley, obviously she's in NXT already. Mia Yim, who was in it last year. Mercedes Martinez, who was in it last year. Killer Kelly, who...
Oh, yes. Progress, yep.
Yeah. And a number of other names as well. But particularly looking forward to seeing Satomura and Shirai, to be honest with you. But should be good.
Mia Yim gets more, gets through more because she was so good.
Yeah,
she was really good last year. Yeah. I can't believe she didn't get picked up. Maybe they did, but she didn't want it.
Yeah,
that's true.
We could say the same about Zack Sabre Jr. and Ibushi with 205 Live.
Yeah, exactly.
Could you imagine that now?
That's really not a shame, is it?
No. Not at all. I mean, we'll have to wait and see and work out what we'll do, because obviously last year we reviewed the whole tournament on a podcast, which worked quite well and was fun to do. Just sort of glossing over the earlier rounds, but obviously if the final's happening at Evolution, maybe we'll just have to have a little section about the earlier rounds on that. But anyway, that's admin. That's podcast admin.
We love a bit of admin.
Yeah, we love it. We love
your favourite part. Yeah, the royal we there.
Yeah, exactly. Okay,
not a fan myself.
John absolutely adores it.
Oh, I love
it's his job, basically. Next up on the news itinerary, that's bollocks. Next up on the agenda in terms of news, just wanted to mention that obviously the NXT UK tapings have kicked off. We had 2 shows in Cambridge over the weekend, so I don't think we know, do we, when it's all going to be airing on the network? But
no, I didn't realise they were filming them so soon. I thought it was later.
Yeah, I've had to try and avoid spoilers, because obviously there's people at every event just live tweeting everything and doing photos and videos, and it's just I really don't want to know what's going on there.
I think Travis Banks is injured, so I don't know if he's going to be participating much.
Okay, yeah, well I can't wait to watch that. I mean, it does mean it's another hour a week or however much it is, but that is something that obviously we're all going to be pretty invested in. So
I think there's a couple more names that I didn't realise were going to be involved. I did see that were there.
Yes,
having matches, which is really exciting. So I'm up for seeing it.
Was it Millie McKenzie?
It was, yeah.
Oh, no way! Yeah. I was just thinking when we were talking about Mae Young Classic, like, it'd be so good if Millie McKenzie was in the Mae Young Classic. She'd rip it apart.
No, she tipped up on NXT UK over the weekend, but amazing! So cool for her. She's so young. WWE already, amazing. And then finally, probably the biggest story of the week is that Elias's album came out, and it's called Walk with Elias.
Dropped.
Oh yeah, sorry, it dropped. It's called Walk with Elias, and it's available on Spotify now. They've called it an album, but it's only 4 tracks.
I did when you said you were checking it out, I did go have a listen. I was I've got to find out what this is about.
What did you think?
It was just it was typical of the last WWE pay-per-view. It wasn't awful that you could really laugh at it.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. I sort of like the aspect that they were, he was doing his heel shtick in the songs.
Yeah,
but it really wasn't that funny, or didn't really go for it. So it was really safe.
Yeah, I'd agree. I thought initially this is awful, and then I was like, well, actually, the guitar's quite nice. It's quite easy listening. Like, I could kind of imagine shoving those 4 songs on a work playlist or something, and not being fussed when they came on. It's not horrible, but it kind of doesn't really work, does it, without the crowd?
No,
you'd want the crowd reaction to what he's saying. But I must say the third song, which is called Nothing I Can't Do, is quite funny, and that's worth a listen. So,
have either of you listened to the Enigma Jeff Hardy's music?
No.
I wonder how it compares to Elias's.
I'm going to have to do that.
He's done quite a lot of albums, I think.
Oh God,
it's old Jeff.
What kind of genre are we talking?
I would say alt country.
Oh dear,
alt country.
That sounds horrendous.
Is it as good as his artwork?
Oh God.
It's probably the same par as his crazy sculptures and stuff.
Yeah, so when I tweeted earlier that I was looking at or listening to the Elias album, we got a little message from Bright Powder Cena on Twitter who said Randy Savage's rap album is the gold standard as far as I'm concerned. And he's right, isn't it? Because I've heard, I haven't listened to that for a long time, but I was listening to the Wrestle Me podcast, going through all the old WrestleManias, and they did play a few of Savage's tracks, and they are pretty damn good. They stand
I've not
up.
listened to it. I'm going to have to give it a go.
Oh.
Yeah, I did not know it existed.
Oh, yeah, definitely check that out. Definitely. It's definitely a cut above Elias. But yeah, listeners, if you enjoy it, then let us know. I'd be surprised, but let us know. Okay, so that's the news done for now. I'm sure there are other stories we could talk about, but we're going to keep this podcast snappy, and we're going to talk about recent shows after this.
Back first to the apron goes Andrade Cien Almas.
All right, so we're going to start off with, very briefly, just a little catch-up on all things WWE in terms of Raw and SmackDown. Obviously, we're in the midst of... Fuck that. Obviously, we're in the build-up to SummerSlam, which is coming up in 3 weeks now, I think. So storylines are starting to progress, and we're starting to understand what matches we're going to be seeing. I had been thinking it all been a bit rubbish, but last night on Raw, things started to get a bit interesting. Did you guys manage to watch it or read up about it at all?
I read a bit about it and watched a few YouTube clips. Roman doing the traditional, "Oh, I'm here, where's Brock" promo.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I watched it today and I was like, oh God, how is this any different from what we've had before? But then it did get different because Lesnar sort of turned on Heyman, F5'd Angle, and we actually had the crowd cheering or chanting, "We want Roman," which is something I've never heard, I don't think. I mean, it wasn't the whole crowd, of course, but quite a few
Vince.
people. Yeah.
So last minute they're going to swap Roman out of that match, yeah?
Or Lashley, do you reckon?
Yeah, just now that they've got the crowd wanting Roman, now they'll like just finally axe it.
What do we reckon is going to happen with Roman at SummerSlam?
He's got to win. He's got to win.
Win, then a Braun cash in, do you reckon?
Well, obviously I would love that.
Yeah.
I don't know, because obviously they've announced that we've got the Kevin Owens versus Braun match at SummerSlam, which if Kevin wins, he takes the Money in the Bank briefcase. So
I would love that to happen.
We could
but
end
I can't see it
SummerSlam with
happening.
Kevin Owens as champ.
That would be amazing.
That would.
There is a
actually
case
be
to be
amazing.
made that it'd be really good for WWE for Brock to have the title whilst he's in UFC.
Yeah.
Although if he gets absolutely battered, it would be bad.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
But he's Brock Lesnar. He's not going to get battered. He's a fucking monster.
I wonder if Brock...
He does though, doesn't he? I know he's a monster, but I'm sure I saw one of his fights and he was not that good. He's just massive.
Big. Yeah, he just gets on top of people, doesn't he? He uses his weight.
Yeah. But I think the fact that they've got the crowd sort of hating Brock, like he did get quite a big response and boos, and when he was doing stuff on the mic, everyone was booing, and everyone sort of feels the same way. And the angle that they've gone with Roman calling him a part-timer, even though they've been repeating it, is accurate, and it is how we all feel. So
he's not even a part-timer now, though, is he?
Well, no.
He's a 0-hour contract.
This was the first. Yeah, this was the first time he'd appeared since the
WrestleMania, isn't it?
Since the Royal Rumble, the greatest Royal Rumble. So, which was only a week or so after WrestleMania, wasn't it? So, it's mad. It's mad. But yeah, hopefully, whatever happens, hopefully he will not be champ, because nobody wants that. Nobody.
No, it can't continue like that.
No.
I kind of like it just from a really sort of masochistic point of view.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, this podcast would be very different if everything was going brilliantly in WWE, but
Yeah.
it'd be nice. It'd be nice. So apart from that match, there's a number of different matches that have been announced. Obviously, all of the championship matches are going to be on there, including the Cruiserweight one, which will obviously be pre-show. But in terms of other ones to look forward to, we've got Alexa versus Ronda. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
And then we also have AJ versus Samoa Joe, which you'd think would be great.
That's probably going to steal the show, isn't it, you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon so, more so. Like, these guys worked loads together, obviously, in TNA. and they're both a cut above.
Yeah.
Can we have a quick mention of Ziggler?
Yeah.
I feel like we've been in this position probably about 20 times, but he's doing really good stuff.
Yeah, it is working nicely, his setup now with Galloway.
Yeah,
or
I feel like
McIntyre,
they're pushing him
sorry.
a bit. I don't know where it's going to lead. It's probably going to lead nowhere because it's Ziggler, but when he's good, he's good.
He is. Oh, obviously, anyone who wrestles Seth Rollins is going to have a good match at the moment.
Oh my God, that guy's on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable how over he is and how the quality of matches he's putting on is phenomenal.
Yeah, so there is a lot. I mean, SummerSlam, it will be good, won't it?
Oh yeah,
It's got to be.
Good.
It's got to
SummerSlam's always pretty good.
Plus, we're watching it at Brett's house, so
Yeah, that'll be fun.
yeah, be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, next, moving on from Raw and SmackDown, we're going to talk a bit about NXT because we've only gone and had an absolutely amazing match just on a standard weekly show. Obviously, we're talking about the championship match between Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. This was on NXT episode 460, just in case you didn't watch it. You want to go and find it. Is Tommaso Ciampa the best heel in the WWE at the moment, or maybe in the world wrestling?
He might be the best heel in the whole of wrestling.
Yeah. The fact that they actually did what we kept on saying they should do with Ziggler on
Yeah,
his
the
new
name-
gimmick of coming out to nothing, and like the boos and the reaction he gets when he comes out to nothing is just amazing.
Ciampa and Ziggler also have similar tans at the moment. It's ridiculous. Piece of teak furniture or something. But yeah, were you surprised?
I was surprised it happened on a TV match.
Yeah. I think it's good though.
Yeah, because it adds that element of surprise that anything can happen on TV. It doesn't have to be on a pay-per-view or a takeover. It was such a good match though, wasn't it? Oh, God.
It was
So
good.
good.
And then like the interference at the end with Gargano, that worked so well, didn't it? It'd be so easy to botch that and make it look shit. The bit with the belt coming back and hitting Black, but it looked legit and it worked, and it all made sense, even though I wasn't expecting that to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think Aleister Black is one of the best wrestlers in the world at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about the fact that his reign has kind of been overshadowed by the feud between Gargano and Ciampa? Obviously, I mean, we even had one takeover where, the championship match wasn't even headlining.
I think it has, the story-wise, it has overshadowed. But
Yeah.
Aleister Black had an amazing match with Lars Sullivan. And Lars Sullivan's a great wrestler, especially for a big dude.
Yeah.
But that match was way better than it had any right to be.
Yeah. And I think, as you say, I can sort of agree story-wise, but like, I think every match Black has had has been top quality. Like Velveteen and stuff. So like he's not been, I don't think necessarily totally overshadowed, like story-wise definitely, but what he's putting on in the actual shows, not at all.
No, you're right.
I even love the way he carries himself, like outside the ring. He carries himself like a champion. Like the promos he gives are very cool and calm, but there's a confidence. I just think he's great. I really do.
Yeah. So, I mean, are we expecting him to get a call up to the main roster after SummerSlam? So
I sort of hope not.
Yeah, me too.
I'm just at that point with like WWE in their main roster that I don't want the wrestlers I like to be called up or go to it because they either get ruined for a year or just left, on the peripheral.
Yeah.
He'll be doing comedy matches with the Ascension within a week.
Yeah, I can see perhaps why they might though, because they've got so much talent in NXT at the moment that I guess hence they gave those got the new North American title and stuff as well, so that there's more gold for the roster to go for.
Yeah.
But with newer people we know are coming in as well, like I don't know.
It's a real problem. Like, how much longer can WWE keep bringing in all the top talent from everywhere? Because like the main roster is filling up far too quickly with great wrestlers. I mean, there's so many that we're like, they should be in the title picture.
Yeah.
Oh, they're too good to be doing this lower card stuff. And I mean, I had in the last 3 years, so exactly 3 years ago, so back to July 2015, Since then, 9 NXT champions have come up to the main roster. So we've had Finn Balor, and you could argue, I mean, obviously the injury he got when he won the title screwed things, but he's had a sort of tough ride over the last year or so. Luckily, he's still bloody good. Samoa Joe next. I mean, he's had the injuries as well and hasn't really done a huge amount. Nakamura, he's just coming into his own now. We had Bobby Roode, then we've had Drew McIntyre, and then we've had Andrade Cien Almas, and then obviously, I said 9 champs have been called up. There have been 9 champs, so we've got Aleister Black as well, who is yet to be called up, and then we've got Ciampa. But it's a weird one because Almas hasn't even had a chance to hit his stride yet, and then Black could be coming up.
Yeah, there's no room for them.
No,
there isn't. But all of those NXT champions feels like they're getting kind of a bit of a push at the moment. Even Almas, like he's having some astonishing matches.
Well, yeah, literally only just in the last couple of weeks, but it's a strange one. I think I might have got those numbers slightly wrong, but you get the point anyway.
I think, I guess I'd like them to stick around in NXT because they get to put on great matches and actually be seen. But at the same time, the shows are so short, so people do go missing for like a week or a couple of weeks, don't they? Because there's not enough airtime. And then with the likes of Keith Lee, and then you add Adam Cole and Ciampa and Gargano.
Potential of Matt Riddle, obviously a lot of talk about that.
It's just like
I hope that doesn't happen.
There's no room for them.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Riddle would be great in WWE though. He is a WWE kind of guy, I think.
I was people wanting him to be the person that appears and like takes Brock's championship.
Oh my god.
He always said that he wanted to take. Didn't he want to retire Brock Lesnar? That's his goal in wrestling, was to retire.
I mean, that would be amazing.
Amazing, but imagine the rest of the locker room how they'd feel about that. Not only have you booked a stoner, but you've made him champ straight away.
Again, come on, I'm got no proof, but Randy Orton's been champ plenty of times.
Well,
oh yeah, Rob Van Dam, come on, Val Venus.
I know, but it's 2018, okay.
Yeah. Just
anyway.
while we're on NXT,
yes.
Can we quickly have a mention for the women's division of NXT?
Absolutely not. We've done a big section about women.
Okay, fine. We'll save it for the Women's Evolution podcast.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Yeah.
It's just so strong and exciting at the moment. It feels like everyone's kind of a legitimate contender. They're all putting on really good matches.
Yeah, they've got
so stacked as well. You've got like Lacey Evans, Candice LeRae, Shayna Baszler, obviously, Nikki Cross, Bianca Belair, Dakota Kai.
Kairi Sane. I love Dakota Kai. Like, I love the fact that she's having a lot more matches. But that 3-way number 1 contenders match the other day was great, wasn't it? They're such different wrestlers and different characters. That's what's so cool. They're not all just, attractive. God, what's the word?
Women?
Okay, no, attractive women. No, I was going to say like attractive, like cookie cutter. All looking the same women that you used to get. That they all look like they're just jobbers. We've got loads of different characters and people, and they're all being allowed to express themselves in and out of the ring. And it is, I agree.
And the quality is much better as well. Like, of those people's.
Yeah. So
I used to hate Lacey Evans, but I'm starting to come around to her a bit.
Yeah, she's a good heel.
I love the fact her finish is like a knockout punch. I like that.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so that's NXT done. We're now going to move on to the New Japan Pro Wrestling G1, which is obviously going on at the moment. Bloody loads of wrestling. So much. So many matches every day. But yeah, G1, you will remember when we did our big review of Wrestle Kingdom, I said I'm going to watch New Japan now. But I haven't watched any of this. So guys...
You haven't watched any? Oh, I should watch some.
Yeah.
Well, I know I should.
I've been doing my damnedest best to try and watch and catch up. And every time I think I might be getting close, I look and there's still like another 4 shows to see.
I know. There's so many, isn't it?
There's just so many. And I'm like, I'm trying to watch while working and stuff, so I'm missing bits. I'm sort of more listening than seeing. Yeah. But I mean, there's been some... it's the G1. There's been some great matches, and there's some guys that are really getting to shine a bit more. Like Sonada's having some great matches, a bit like Evil did last year.
Yeah.
And then Adam Page, I mean, he's looked great.
I haven't seen his match with Okada yet, but I'm not a big fan of A Block, but I really want to see the Adam Page Okada match.
I guess, like you were talking, with the women's wrestling and this cookie cutter, like,
yeah,
he looks like the sort of wrestler we're very much used to watching, and you don't sort of watch New Japan for that because we've seen that, but actually he is really good, and he's like got so much more in his locker that he hasn't got to show in the faction aspect, but he's been having some great matches.
I really hated him when he first came on the scene, but I've come around to Adam Page a lot. I think he's awesome.
Yeah, and Juice Robinson.
I'm still on the fence about Juice.
Oh no, I was on the fence. Like there's been stuff that you like about him, but then there's sort of been like gimmick or aspects that has not really sold me on him. But like recently, just like the quality of matches he's having as well.
Yeah, his match with Switchblade at the G1 special was easily the best match on that card. Actually, it was really good.
Yeah, and he's been fighting with I think he's really broken his hand. I don't think it's kayfabe.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's been like he's had it in a cast.
Yeah, because he wasn't allowed to use it against Jay White in the.
No, and then from what I was watching, he thought he was going to get it's all good and healed, but it was like 70% healed, so he still has it all strapped up and everything. But
wow,
but putting on great matches, and then obviously there's the obvious people that are always great, like Ishii.
Ishii Naito was an incredible match.
Oh, actually, Naito has been having so many incredible matches with lots of different people and really like playing to the opponent's strengths, if that makes sense. Like each match has been really different, and like they've really put in spots that relate to what the other wrestlers are good at. I don't know whether he's going to get to the final and win it, because I don't really know what they're doing with Naito at the moment.
No, it's always a way with Naito, isn't it? You're never quite sure. Also, you're never quite sure what Naito you're going to get, because sometimes he obviously doesn't give a shit. I know that's his whole heel persona as well, but sometimes the match
feels like he phones it in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I'm loving lots of aspects of this. And Zack Sabre Jr., we didn't even mention this. It's just too many.
I didn't love Sabre's match with Ibushi.
No,
I don't know why. I didn't like their match. They had a match a little while ago as well. I can't remember. Was it in the Super Cup? Is it the Super Cup?
The New Japan Cup.
I didn't enjoy that match either. I'm not sure if they gel with me, those two.
No,
I love Sabre's match with Yano. Weirdly, it was really good.
He had a really great match with Sonada as well.
Okay, check that out.
Sonada fully like on the mat, like doing the technical wrestling with him in that match, which was just another level.
Sam was singing the praises of Sonada, wasn't he, on when we were talking about it a little bit on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
In fact, if I go back, what did he say? Sonada is going to be a huge single star one day. His match with Ibushi was sick. And then, as Sam is he watches a lot of New Japan, I may as well read out the other notes that he made. He said Okada was super aggressive in his match with Yoshihashi. His storyline since losing the title has been really cool. And then Tama Tonga, I think, is also in for a major singles push. The Bullet Club OG faction have reintroduced a true heel faction to New Japan, and it was sorely lacking. So,
Tama Tonga is really good.
They've been getting disqualifications left, right and centre in their matches, whether it's Bad Luck or Tama Tonga. I don't think either of them are picking up any points. They're just cheating their way through, but not successfully.
I have to say, I think my favourite match I've seen so far is Kenny Omega versus Goto. I think Goto is such an underrated wrestler. Like, he's so reliable. Like, you could put him into like the title picture, you'd put in a good match, and it's feel believable that he should be in there.
Yeah,
but that match with Omega was so good, just really hard hitting.
It's just it's too much of a good thing. I can't handle it.
It is too much, because it ruins everything else that you watch to a degree.
Yeah,
because like the quality is so up there. But like this G1, it's just like fired at you so fast.
And the problem is, it's like you said, like I'm freelance as well, so I watch a lot of wrestling while I'm working, and you're not really watching properly, are you? And even when you hear something good and you go back, it's not the same because you're not seeing it in the moment. And I like to try and watch stuff properly, and there's no way I can watch the whole of the G1.
No, I mean I skip around and sort of pick out matches that I want to watch that.
Yeah,
watch that.
Yeah, there are matches that I will go back and watch. But like I say, like there's just so much. Yeah, I don't have the time to sit and watch it without having it on while I'm working.
Yeah, Sam sent a couple of YouTube videos of highlights, like recaps, and they were like 6 or 7 minutes long, one for Group A and one for Group B. I was like, okay, this is cool. And then I realised that was just literally one night, and then I saw the graphic of who had wrestled who and how many other nights there were, and I was like, I can't.
Yeah, and that's even with me skipping the first half of the show, which is like the
tag matches,
all the other
tag matches, and just going straight to the G1.
Yes, yeah. Well, like our approach to watching it, I think our approach to talking about it should be similar, and we should just do a half-assed job and move on. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, guys. Saying that, you did a good job there. Well done.
Yeah.
Next up, we want to talk a little bit about World of Sport. Obviously, that is back on ITV after the one-off special at Christmas. This was the first show of the new run that began on Saturday night, 5 o'clock. So very much sort of tea time, family entertainment, and it's a weird one, isn't it? Because like family wrestling, like we have WWE for that. I have absolutely no desire to watch that. Really, I did not enjoy it.
I mean, it's WOS wrestling now, isn't it?
Of course.
I don't know why that is. It's really awkward to say.
It's 3 letters.
WOS.
Yeah.
There's aspects that I like, and I want to watch it because I want it to get the viewership. I don't want it to, drop off the telly or anything. I think it's great that it's there. I think Ospreay and Davey Boy Jr., like they had a good match.
Yes, definitely.
But Ospreay was sprinting through that match. It felt like he was so eager to do well,
to impress. I think they've told him, yeah, come on, we need to get people to watch next week. So
yeah, and he's not slow in any of his matches anyway. Like, yeah, but he seemed like he was going, 100 miles an hour to try and get them over.
Well, it's so huge if you think about it. Like the audience that he would have got for that would be bigger than any other audience he's ever had, right? I mean, I don't know how it works in Japan in terms of TV and how many people they get watching the big shows, and even if they're on, the Japanese equivalent of terrestrial TV, or if it's on cable, I don't know. I might be talking rubbish, but it's more than you're going to get from a network show.
Yeah, I think you might be on something network. There.
And the thing is, I agree. It's great that we've got it, and it is kind of perfect. Like I've got no problem with the product and the way that they have produced it, and it is good for young kids watching. And there'll be was it you, Brett, who talked about watching wrestling at your nan's house, and there'll be loads of kids who will be doing that, and they'll be thinking this is amazing. But we've talked about how much wrestling there is. If I'm going to watch indie wrestling and those wrestlers that feature, I want to be seeing them in the indie shows and the adult 18 plus shows where there's lots of ridiculous stuff and it's a bit more aimed at me. And I don't think I'm going to be able to keep up with this because it's all just, I'm not that keen on any of the wrestlers apart from Ospreay, and it's all a bit PG.
I don't even think it's the PG aspect. So there's a number of the wrestlers that I don't know that much about, so I can't really comment on what their show might be like in an indie show as compared to on this sort of kids time show. But like Ospreay, he was bringing out his New Japan stuff. I'm sure there was a dragon suplex in there.
What, his cheeky Fernando's kick that he did?
Yeah, his cheeky Fernando's.
I saw him on the Twitter just before we started recording saying that there's going to be cheeky Fernando's shirts coming out. Obviously, as opposed to the cheeky Nando's.
So I don't know if it's just like perhaps some of the wrestlers just aren't my sort of cup of tea and what I enjoy watching, or whether some of them are, still quite green or not. It's hard to tell whether like it's booked a certain way or not.
Yeah,
but like they're because they're not a lot of the names we now know from the indie scene.
No, that is true.
I can't.
I liked Kip Sabian and what he was getting up to.
Yeah,
he seems like a natural on that kind of program.
Yeah, shouting is super bad and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I think there were a lot of aspects that I think were good. I think there's stuff that they're going to learn or improve upon, hopefully, like some of the camera stuff, some of the commentating. They didn't have like a play-by-play announcer, did they?
No, that's a note that I made. Is that
it was just colour
weird.
commentary, and I think for kids, like knowing what the moves are and being able to talk about that aspect would be a huge thing.
Yeah, they didn't call any moves. There was a couple where Stu Bennett did say a couple of them, but he didn't sound confident. He was just like, "Was that the backbreaker?" Or strange.
So it was really missing there because I think that's I think the kids would just lap that stuff up, being the one that knows what this move is and that move is. So there's just some aspects like that, and I think I saw a tweet of Will Ospreay's about ring gear and stepping it up, and I agree on that as well. You're on TV now with that sort of audience, put a bit of money in, get a little bit more snazzy.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Who wasn't snazzy enough?
Almost everyone, bar Will Ospreay.
They did look a bit cheap, some of them. But so obviously, Grado was the champ going into it. He won that the Christmas one-off episode, didn't he? And then we had a main event, three-way match, and Rampage Brown, just Rampage, as he's called on WOS, is the new champion. So, basically my main takeaway is it's not for me, and I don't think I can take it. I'm not watching any of the G1. I shouldn't be spending an hour a week watching this. But
that's definitely fair.
It's a good product. I hope it is popular, and I hope loads of kids get into wrestling because of it. Because then they'll realise how much amazing stuff they've got to watch elsewhere. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. That is the end of our update of what we've been watching, and after this little break, we're going to talk about the Riptide Championship Weekender.
Oh, wait a minute. No, Daniel Bryan's got Big Cass set up here on the apron. Hardest part of the ring. Oh, man. My goodness.
So, we have a very big event coming up in Brighton this Thursday, the 2nd of August. 2nd, 3rd and 4th, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We have the Riptide Brighton Championship Tournament. Obviously, Riptide have been going for a year now. And as you know, we have been pretty much ever present. And it's all been building to this. We have a 16-man tournament, as well as some other interesting matches that have been announced as well, which we'll go into. And we're going to find out who is going to be the first ever Brighton champion. Firstly, what's happening? Who's going? I'm probably going Friday, Saturday.
I'm going all
Friday,
days.
Saturday.
Friday, Saturday for you, John. All days for Brett. I've got other
Yeah.
plans on the Thursday, unfortunately, which is annoying. So we'll see a lot of you there. So obviously, we've all got the bracket, and oh my god, the design on this is incredible. This looks amazing. Riptide must be spending a fortune on their designers. Honestly, Brett, it does all look really cool. All this stuff you've been doing for this.
Oh, shucks.
No, it does. It looks really, really cool. We've got the bracket up in front of us. I mean, big first one is Candy Floss versus Cara Noir, one of the major, well, not really major, but ongoing storylines that Riptide have had over the past year, basically.
I absolutely love Cara Noir.
Yeah, me too. And I love the stuff he's been doing with Candy Floss and how creepy it is and how strange. And
I think Candy Floss might win that one, though.
Yeah. I hope so. We've got Spike Trivet versus Wildcard, which obviously when this was announced, I was thinking, have they got a massive name coming in? But kind of true to the ethos that Josh has talked about on our podcast and others in the past, they're actually going for a pre-show match, aren't they? With 4 kind of younger stars, up-and-coming stars, who are going to battle it out for that spot.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Brett, can you remember them off the top of your head?
OJMO.
Yeah.
Jordan Breaks, who I've seen a couple of times over at the Worthing show.
Okay.
Mauro Chavez, who was one of the vegans that came out in the Rumble.
The kale guy, yeah.
Yeah. And Sid Scala, who I've also seen over at Worthing, and he's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be fun. Interesting to see how that progresses and what happens there. Obviously, we've got, they're going to have this match last on the night because the ring will be in pieces when Jonah Rock faces Walter.
Oh, I really want to see that match. I don't know if I can go to Thursday.
Yeah.
Use Adam's ticket.
Yeah. I've got the ticket there for you if you want it, mate.
Mate, that's going to be so good.
That's going to be so meaty, that match.
I won't go through every match, but any others that are standing out to you? I'm very much looking forward to Jordan Devlin.
They're all going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
Devlin
you look
versus
at
Carl Fletcher is going to be great. Mambo versus Angelico is going to be amazing.
Ridgway McKenzie.
Yeah, Moser Davis.
And David Starr, Charlie Morgan, just to round it off. Yeah, I think you're
every match is going to be great.
Yeah, and when you look at that lineup, you think that is quality, and then you've got to think about, and this is a point again I'm stealing from Josh that he said on I think it's Got Till 5 podcast, so a little shout out for them. So I'm not stealing all their material, but Josh pointed out how many top quality UK guys are currently going to be on tour in America with Progress, of course.
Yeah,
you've got the likes of Chris Brooks and all sorts of other ones. If you look at the matches that they're having out there, you look at this and it does not look poor. It's not like a B-list.
No, and it's probably the reason why there's a big name missing from this bracket as well.
Yes, yeah,
and
that's
Jack.
True. Of course,
oh my god, of course. I didn't even realise.
Yeah,
I figured I knew he was going, or when I saw the dates for the American tour, I was like, oh, no way.
He must be one of the favourites to win this, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, do you guys want to pick? I mean, I don't know, Brett, you've got any inside information? I doubt you've been told, but you never know. No. You might already be making up match graphics for the final, for all we know.
Josh, good on him. He tries to give me as little information as he can so that I can be surprised.
Yes.
Like everyone else, which is really cool.
That is good. Who do you think is going to win it then, Brett?
It's going to be Spike, isn't it?
I want Spike, but I think having a heel win the first championship.
We've had a lot of heels going over the last year at Riptide, so that's what makes me think maybe not. But then the fact that we don't have Jack there, I mean, could they follow up and get Mambo to win it? But he's already won the Rumble.
Yeah. My heart says Chuck Mambo, but my head's saying Spike.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with Millie.
Strong shout.
Yeah, that's a crazy. I mean, only crazy because she hasn't been a regular at Riptide. She's been there a couple of times, and I feel like it will go to either one of Money versus Everybody or
you're probably
Candy
right.
Floss. Candy Floss.
Don't put real life logic to this, Adam.
Okay. Well, basically what we're saying is we don't really know.
No, we've got no clue
who's going to win it. So away from the tournament, we also have a couple of other matches that have been announced. The standout match, and the one that's been getting a lot of hype and interest and amazement on social media, has been the tag team match between the Anti-Fun Police versus Session Moth Martina and Dave Benson Phillips.
I am not looking forward to this match at all.
What?
Really?
It's going to be stupid. I'm really anti this match.
Are you part of the Anti-Fun Police?
Yeah.
I am, yeah. Well, deputy.
Boring John.
Oh, boo, John. Boo.
It's just going to be cringy.
Didn't you say you didn't like the comedy matches in New Japan, John?
I'm not a big fan of comedy matches generally.
I can't wait until Saturday comes, Friday. This match is on the Friday, and I can turn to John during the match and to see the joy and glee on his face.
Yes.
And say, "I told you so."
When we've
weird.
paid
when the gunge
Dave
comes
Benson
flying
some
and
money to
splats
gunge
you on their forehead. Yeah, exactly. You're going to get gunged.
They're definitely going to work gunge into it somehow. It's just going to be rubbish.
No, I love the comedy matches, and I just think this is going to be an absolute hoot.
Yeah, and actually, I've got to say, Session Moth, in the early days, I thought that's fun, but I thought that it has not got legs. This cannot last. But I think she's just so likeable and fun and funny.
Yeah. And
the whole Fancies Martina stuff and the stuff she does on social media. I really like her still, and I warm to her every time I see more of her. So
yeah, and
I think it's going to be fun. Same with Anti-Fun Police, actually. I wasn't into them, but
no, Federales is so funny.
Yeah,
the big guy is really, really good.
Funny.
Yeah,
he's funny.
Just good.
You can say it. Okay, fine. And then we've also had another match, which is going to happen on Saturday, which is a tag team match between Shakara and Paul Robinson, which should be interesting, against Amir Jordan, Kip Sabian, a.k.a.
Super Brothies.
Super Brothies, there we go. Yeah, so it's going to be great. I mean, I'm very, very excited that they're naming their champion and that we're all going to get to see the belt and someone's going to be champ, and it's going to make, obviously, the next year of Riptide even more interesting. So...
Is it
if you can,
aren't your names going to be on the belt?
Yeah, season ticket holders' names are on the belt. I don't know where, but I'm assuming just on the back, obviously.
Yeah, in Tipex.
Masking tape in a biro.
Yeah, if you can make it, if you're umming and ahhing, then just come down, because it is going to be brilliant. It's 20 quid a ticket. Usually the ticket's 25 quid, because it's 3 days, it's 20. So if you just come down for one day, then you're getting a cheaper ticket than normal. So I heavily recommend it. And obviously it is Brighton Pride weekend, so Brighton there's going to be a carnival atmosphere, so do it. Cool.
Sorry, I thought you were going to a sting there.
Yeah, I thought that was a good point to finish.
I was letting everybody come away from the podcast and go on to riptidewrestling.com and get their tickets.
I think you should leave that pause and then you say cool and then edit from there.
No, I'm leaving this in. I'm leaving this all in. Just letting everyone get their tickets. Do you think they've got them?
Yeah, they've probably got them by now, mate.
Okay.
They've definitely got them by now.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Let's have a sting now.
Oh, face first into the apron of the ring. There's very little padding there. A dangerous area. It's not wrestler friendly, I can tell you.
Okay, that is it then. That was our Wrestling Roundup, episode number 37. Next week, we're going to be doing a top 5 episode. I haven't done one of those for a little while, so we are still in negotiations with each other as to what that is going to be about. But we've got a couple of fun ideas. Brett, if people want to get in touch with us, I'm sure they know it by now. But
yeah, they can send electronic mail to hardestpartofthering@gmail.com. Or they can catch us on one of the many social medias. We are at Hardest Part Pod on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And
brilliant.
We do have T-shirts, and they're okay. I think they're pretty cool. I'm quite proud.
Amazing.
I can't, I need you guys to so soft.
We haven't We haven't mentioned that for a while.
And
there's stickers.
And stickers, yeah. And that's at hardestpartofthering.bigcartel.com.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for everybody who has listened, and we'll see a lot of you down at the Bright Helm for Riptide on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Until then, goodbye, John.
Bye.
Goodbye, Brett.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from me. That was the hardest part of the ring.
That is the hardest part